Iceland was mosquito-free. Until now, Iceland was famous for one weird fact that sounded almost impossible. No mosquitoes. Not very few, only in summer. None. People joked that it was the closest thing to paradise. But in 2025, that story cracked. A small number of mosquitoes were reportedly found in Iceland for the first time, and that tiny discovery matters way more than you'd think. Not because a few bugs will suddenly ruin the country overnight, but because it's like a signal flare. It tells us something about how fragile impossible facts really are when nature changes the rules. So how did Iceland stay mosquito-free for so long? Why is it changing now? And what does this mean for an island that built part of its identity on the idea that mosquitoes simply can't live there? Let's map it out. First, what makes mosquitoes successful almost everywhere else? Mosquitoes aren't just random flying annoyances. They're specialists. They need water for their early life stages, and they need stable timing. Eggs, larvae, pupae, adults, each stage depends on temperature and season lining up long enough to complete the cycle. If the timing breaks, the chain breaks. Now zoom in on Iceland. Iceland sits far north in the Atlantic, right where cold and warm ocean currents collide. On a map, it looks like a stepping stone between North America and Europe, but ecologically it's a harsh, windy, and wildly variable place. Weather can change fast. Temperatures swing, and in many areas, water doesn't stay in the perfect mosquito nursery state for long. That's the first big clue: stability. Mosquitoes don't just need water, they need the right kind of water at the right temperature for the right duration. In Iceland, shallow water often freezes, then thaws, then freezes again, sometimes repeatedly. That freeze-thaw pattern is brutal for insects that depend on a smooth seasonal runway. Imagine trying to run a marathon where the track keeps turning into ice, then mud, then ice again. Even if you're strong, the environment keeps tripping you up. Second clue: Iceland is an island. Islands can be weird. Many have unique ecosystems because getting there is hard. For mosquitoes to establish a population, it's not enough for one mosquito to arrive. You need enough individuals at the same time in the same area to reproduce and keep reproducing. That's a numbers game, and islands naturally make that game harder. It's like trying to start a new town with only one person. You can't. You need a group. So for a long time, Iceland had two powerful barriers: the difficulty of arriving in large enough numbers, and the difficulty of surviving long enough to complete the life cycle once they got there. That's why the no mosquitoes fact became famous. But here's the thing. No mosquitoes never meant mosquitoes are physically impossible. It meant the conditions weren't stable enough for them to establish. And stability is exactly what can shift. When people hear mosquitoes found in Iceland, the next question is obvious: what changed? There are a few possibilities, and the real answer could be a combination. One possibility is transportation. Modern travel moves living things around the planet at ridiculous speed. Planes, cargo, ships, anything small can hitch a ride. A few mosquitoes, or eggs, or larvae, can travel farther in a day than they could naturally travel in a lifetime. That doesn't guarantee they'll survive, but it increases the number of attempts. And when you increase attempts, sooner or later, something sticks. Another possibility is local conditions. Even a cold country can have pockets of warmth microclimates. A sheltered area, a warmer than usual season, a greenhouse effect in a specific spot, or a water source that stays liquid longer than normal. If mosquitoes land in a lucky pocket, they can complete their cycle where they previously couldn't. Think of it like finding one warm corner in a giant cold room. If you can reach that corner, you might last longer than anyone expects. And then there's the biggest long-term suspect: climate patterns. You don't need Iceland to become tropical. You just need slightly longer warm periods, slightly fewer hard freezes at critical moments, and slightly more stable standing water. Small shifts can be enough to change the outcome for a species that lives on timing. This is why that 2025 discovery is fascinating. It's not just a bug story, it's a timing story. Now, let's be clear. A few mosquitoes does not automatically mean Iceland will become mosquito country. Finding mosquitoes is one thing. Establishing a breeding population that survives year after year is another. Many introductions fail. Nature is full of species that arrive somewhere and then disappear because the environment refuses to cooperate. The real test is the winter. Icelandic winters are not gentle. Cold, wind, sudden weather swings. Those conditions can wipe out fragile populations. Even if mosquitoes appear in one season, they may not persist. But the reason this matters is that it shows the barrier is not absolute. The door that seemed locked might be opening, even if only a crack. So what would change if mosquitoes truly established in Iceland? First, the obvious: daily life. Mosquitoes change how people experience summer. They affect outdoor time, tourism moods, and local comfort. Even if the mosquito species is not a major disease carrier, annoyance alone can reshape behavior. Second, ecosystems. Mosquitoes are food. Birds, fish, insects, bats, many species can benefit from a new food source. But ecosystems are balanced on relationships. Add something new, and you can trigger unexpected shifts. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it harms. Often it does both. Third, perception. Iceland's mosquito-free reputation is part of its global mystery brand. People love rare facts. No mosquitoes is one of those facts. When a rare fact breaks, it grabs attention because it feels like a secret rule of the world just got rewritten. And that's exactly what Map Mysteries is about. Because the map isn't just geography. It's a system of conditions: temperature, water, wind, isolation, human travel, and time. So here's the mystery question to end on. Was 2025 a one-time glitch, or the beginning of a new normal? Do you think mosquitoes will actually establish in Iceland and survive future winters? Comment one word, yes or no, and if you want another map mystery next, tell me which topic you want: weird borders, strange islands, or disappearing cities.